Now this is the part I am most excited for. As you know, we've been making a mechanical watch for the last 2 videos, but this doesn't look like much of a clock, does it? I mean, sure, the gears move and everything, but what time is it? It's watch face time. Yes, today is the day where we actually make sense of this precisely timed gear train and finally see the hours, minutes, and seconds that we all know and love. And make sure you stick around to the very end because I have an awesome idea for the hands that you don't want to miss. So I was going to make a watch face from scratch, but someone happened to make a really good looking one in the Discord server. Wait. Oh. Yeah, so this one was made by Flyingdean in my Discord server. They actually created a fully working version of their own watch, but to me the most interesting part of it was this watch face. It might be a little bit hard to tell, but you have 2 concentric circles here, so one smaller one and one larger one, and they have 1 black block in it, and these are actually both circular piston feed tapes. So if I place my camera up here and click on this note block, you can see right there the hour hand moves along at a pretty fast rate. Actually, it's all synchronized. It looks incredible. And if I switch over to here, you can see the outer ring moves as well. Now you may notice a couple of things. First of all, the center is a 2x2, not a 1x1. But there's actually a really good reason for that. If you go ahead and count the blocks here on the outer ring, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for a quarter of it. Times 4 means that there are exactly 60 in this entire outer ring. And then the inner ring has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 4, which is 48, which is a little bit of an interesting number, but it's workable. Seeing as both of them are a multiple of 12, we should be just fine with that. The other thing that you may notice is that there are only 2 hands and not 3. In Flyingdean's full design, this outer ring is actually the minute hand, and the inner ring is the hour hand, meaning that we don't have a second hand. But I'm thinking if I can somehow fit another ring in the middle here that works the same way, that could be the new hour hand, and then we can really start putting these together. So just for a moment, let's move this top layer out. By the way, I've been getting a lot of comments on this. This is actually a mod called Axiom. As you can see, I can just select things and move them at will. It's really, really nice. There we go. So that top ring has moved out, exposing the inside, and wow. You can actually see that we have this red circuit here, I think is part of the timing. And then we have these rings of target blocks and solid blocks. I think these are all the gears in Flyingdean's design. Since we have our gears down here and we'll be adding some of our own, I'm going to remove that portion, hopefully without a whole lot of destruction. All right, there we go. We have a little bit more space to work. Dang, I'm really realizing this is quite advanced. Okay, but let's put our new concentric circle in, shall we? Okay, so that works out. So we have each quarter is 9, which will give us a total of 36 blocks, which is also still a multiple of 12, which means we should still be in the clear. Now I just need to be able to make this piston feed tape somehow. This I might just have to do completely off camera, guys. I'm sorry. I'll check back in when we get back to the fun part. Okay, so I was able to cram in a smaller hour hand into the center of this, but there's a couple things to point out first before we move on. The first thing that you might notice is that it's not a perfect circle. It's a little bit wonky, right? You might be wondering, if I punched out these blocks, maybe it'll look a little bit better. But the truth is, these are here so that the total number of blocks in this ring equals 36. Which is divisible by 12. The second thing that you might notice is that there's a 1 block gap between the second and minute hand, but there's a 2 block gap here. Now, trust me, I wish that wasn't there either. But if you look over here, I actually did try to make this a 1 block gap. As you can see, we have a much nicer looking larger circle here, and this one also actually has 36 blocks in it, but because of the minute hand pistons and where they were, I just couldn't fit in the pistons to actually make this work. So the compromise that I went for is that the hour hand is a little bit smaller, and it has a odd but honestly not that bad of a shape. The third thing that's a little less obvious is that because of those corner blocks, the extra blocks that I mentioned earlier, yeah, this takes 5 piston moves in order to go around each position. If I expertly direct my mouse down here, there we go, to the minute hand, you'll see that the minute hand and also the second hand move forward with just 3 piston moves. So because of those extra blocks, the hour hand needed to be 5 piston moves, but I gotta be honest, this is actually quite satisfying to watch, isn't it? I mean, look at that. Overall though, the hour hand is the one that's going to be moving the least often, so I don't mind that it takes a couple more piston moves to actually accomplish the goal. So yeah, now that we finally got a watch face with 3 concentric rings, all of which are divisible by 12, let's go ahead and work on the gears. So we have 60 blocks in the outer ring and 48 blocks on the inner ring. 48 divided by 12 is 4 blocks. So that means every 5 minutes, this minute hand is going to move forward by 4 positions. For the minute hand, that means 300 positions, right? So 60 times 5 is 300. So that means we have a 300 to 4 ratio, which can be simplified down to 75 to 1. So a 75 to 1 gear ratio with 1 gear would actually be quite a doozy, but luckily for us, we can split that up into multiple gears and make it a lot smaller. Well, you know, to be honest, 75 is a very strange number. I actually prefer 150. That's equivalent to 150 to 2, which can be done with a 15-toothed gear paired with a 10-toothed gear with 2 outputs on it. Let me just build it and show you what I mean. And there we go. So we have a 15 blocked gear right here and a 10 blocked gear right here. That is basically going to be a 150 to 1 gear ratio, except you can see that evenly spaced in this 10 blocks here are actually 2 observers. So actually this block right here will get 2 pulses per rotation of this wheel. And that effectively makes this a 75 to 1 gear ratio. All right, so now that we have the relationship between the second hand and the minute hand taken care of, let's take care of the relationship between the minute hand and the hour hand. So this one should be relatively simpler, right? So each time the minute hand does 1 full rotation, which is 48 blocks, we should see that the hour hand travels 3 spaces because 36 divided by 12 is 3. And a 48 to 3 ratio is a 16 to 1 ratio. So that can be done with just a 16 block gear. All right, there we go. That was pretty simple. And may I say, a very handsome set of gears. So let's go ahead and put this in position as best we can. All right, so that happened to slot in really nicely. You can actually see it nestles in pretty well. This is, I mean, it sags down quite a bit, but I think it looks pretty good, pretty clean. So now let's go ahead and attach that faceplate back on here. That looks pretty good. Oh yeah, and that means we can finally get rid of this, right? Now, one more thing I want to do is actually punch out the exact path that the blocks take. You'll see why in just a moment, but it's gonna get a little uglier. Just bear with me for a second, all right? All right, there we go. So now our faceplate is riddled with holes, but don't worry, there is a method to the madness. Just stay with me for a moment. Oh yeah, also 12 o'clock is not perfectly centered because, well, you know, it's not a 1 block center. So I just kind of decided to put it to the right instead of the left. You could roast me in the comments if you want to on that, but I think it's time to move this onto our escapement wheel down there and actually see this thing working for once. And boom. Yep, so it's hooked up to the same fence post that is driving the escapement. And yeah, without further ado, let's make a backup and fire this thing up, shall we? I'm so nervous. Well, anyways, here we go. Let's get it started. And yes, our second hand is ticking along. Looks nice. Let's go ahead and speed up the game. And let's count 5 minutes. Four minutes, and the minute hand has moved forward 3 spaces. There we go. We're coming up on 5 minutes. As soon as this black block hits this area, we should see the minute hand move forward by 1 more. There we go. Now we are at 5 minutes, or 4 blocks. Interesting ratio there, but it is what it is. Now our hour hand hasn't moved yet, but that's because the minute hand actually needs to reach like the 20-minute mark somewhere down here in order for this to even move 1 block forward. So yeah, we can tick sprint perhaps. 1 day, right? 1 day is 20 minutes. I mean, this isn't a completely accurate clock, but oh, it's so satisfying to watch. And we should see pretty soon the hour hand. There we go. Move forward by 1. Amazing. But believe it or not, folks, I am not done yet. Let's take this over to snapshot 25W18A and see what we can do there. Let's see if you see where I'm going with this. Okay, so here we are in the snapshot. You might be wondering though, what's so special about this snapshot? Well, if you keep up with Minecraft news, you'll know that they have made an overhaul to some lead mechanics. And they've made 3 very crucial enhancements that make what I'm about to do possible. Number 1, the lead itself is visibly thicker, which makes it, well, more visible. Number 2, the snapping distance of the lead has been increased from 10 blocks to 12 blocks, which, if I put an entity right in the middle of this, is just enough to reach the outer diameter of our second hand ring here. And third, we're able to now, oh, get back here. We're able to now tie mobs together like this. And I can actually bring this one along and tie it to this chicken. And now we have 3 chickens in a row tied together. And I can even drag all of them in the air like this if I wanted to. Come on now. Oh, looks like we lost one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spawn a no AI chicken right in the middle here. What's cool about it being no AI is, of course, well, it can't roam, but also it can't be dragged. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It just stays in place. Then I'm gonna replace these black blocks right here with composters, and I'm gonna place snow golems into here because, well, they're too tall. Remove their pumpkin heads like this so that they blend in with the background a little bit more. And finally, tie each of them to our chicken here in the center. Oh yeah, chicken pinion. Oh God, I'm so sorry. So now we're ready to see the full potential of this thing. Let's go down to the bottom and start this up. I am so excited. Let's go. Come on. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, dude, that's a second hand. That is a full-on second hand. That is really convincing and very readable. Okay, hold on. Let's speed this up. Oh, okay. The snow golem is having a little bit of trouble keeping up with... Okay, that looks pretty goofy. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's be nicer to the game. Let's do 100. There we go. There we go. That's that's more like it. Yeah, dude. I mean, this is a clock. I think we just made the greatest clock face in Minecraft. And now we almost have a fully functioning watch. The only thing that's missing is the ability to stop the watch at will and also set the time using the crown. The crown mechanism is actually quite cool, so get subscribed so you don't miss the finale of this series. And now, enjoy possibly the greatest clock face in Minecraft.